want to welcome you tonight to our December meeting of the Design Review Board for the City of Aiken. And we appreciate your participation in this process. Some of you may have been here before, but normally what we do is we take a few minutes to review the minutes. Tonight we have minutes for a special work session as well as our November meeting. And then we'll go ahead and go into the regular agenda. It's divided into Old Aiken Overlay. There are several projects there under that, and then Historic Overlay. And when we, Ron Hanna, our secretary, will read the application, and then after that, we'll ask that you come to the lectern over here and give your name and your address for the record. And so with that, I'll ask if we have any motions regarding the minutes. Any changes or motions to approve for the October 6th special work session first?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes of the special work session of October 6, 2015.
Second.
As submitted.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, thank you.
And then I'll move that we approve the minutes of the work session and regular meeting of November 17th, 2015, as written.
Good. Okay, thank you. All in favor of approving the minutes for the November meeting, raise your right hand. Okay, and work session. Thank you. All right, Mr. Secretary, I believe that if you can give us the first application.
Okay. Our first application is application number CERD 16-001016. Justin Swanson is requesting approval to construct a 350 square foot addition to the rear of the SRS Museum at 224 Lawrence Street.
Okay, yeah, if you'd come forward, Mr. Swanson.
Hello. First and foremost, thanks for hearing us sufficient.
Right there.
We're here today to seek.
Can you just go ahead and officially tell us you are definitely Justin Swanson?
Yes, sir. I apologize.
No,
My name is Justin Swanson. I'm here with the SRS Heritage Foundation, the SRS Museum, looking to pursue a letter of appropriateness for an addition off of the rear at 224 Lawrence Street,
okay.
Which we hope will be the SRS Museum here soon. The reason we're here today, you can look on page 7 if you'd like to see the conditions of the site that we're adding on to. Off of the rear of the building, we have a carport which has been dinged and backed into, which we intend to replace with a addition off of the rear. This addition will have a stairwell, a hoistway, and storage. In addition to the addition, we will be removing the aluminum temporary handicap ramp off of the rear, which you can also see on page 7. And we'll be installing a ADA compliant handicap rail with roll lock. We're matching the brick. It's the museum's goal to not only help the function of the building, but to beautify it as well. And we are hoping to get started as soon as possible. We were told from the city that we do need to receive this letter of appropriateness because you will be able to see this from Hood Lane. You will not be able to see this addition from the front. We've taken several steps, which you can see on the notes throughout the packet, to make sure that the conditions are matching 100%. And we're doing that not only with our brick, but we're doing it even with the gable window, which you can see within our packet proposal as well.
Okay. Good, thank you. Do y'all have any questions of Ms. You do?
I do.
Okay, yeah.
And so the reason the height is higher is you need to be able to get that elevator mechanism and all in there.
Exactly correct. The hoistway needs to have supports at the top.
Right. When I look at the drawing that's on the overhead there, it looks like you're doing a gable kind of roof over that.
Yes, sir.
Have you thought about doing anything else other than that? Because coming off that flat roof and then having a gable roof looks a little odd.
You're exactly right. Part of the reason that we want to continue with the gable there is if you look on the sides of the Dibble Library, which
Right.
is actually the only historic building
That's
on
right.
the site,
Right.
we wanted to match that. The addition that was added, I believe in the 80s, to the rear of the Dibble Library has no continuity with
Right.
the historical building. So
Right.
we wanted to add that continuity off the rear, match that window that's in the gable. We also wanted to, of course, match the brick, but if you look here on the new rear elevation on page 6, you can see that our ridge line is actually lower than the ridge line of the Dibble Library. So we're making sure that no matter what, this will not poke out above like a witch's hat, as some say in business. We're just going to have this hidden behind. We're going to have it flashed where it's meeting the new roof so that all that rainwater will actually go onto the addition off the rear of the Dibble building, which does have a flat roof, which drains to the left of the rear elevation view.
Okay. Well, I certainly think we need to make the building ADA compliant, so I'm all in favor of that.
Yes, sir. Right now, we have no ADA compliance at all.
Right.
I know that this isn't the board's concern, but not only are we making it ADA compliant in the rear, we're making it ADA compliant within. Part of the reason that we're adding the hoistway is so that folks in wheelchairs can access the upstairs part of the exhibits as well. We want to make sure that this building is not only functional, but beautiful.
I think you've tackled the most unattractive end of it, so hopefully it'll be an improvement.
Yes, sir. I think anything over the aluminum carport and aluminum handicap system will be an improvement.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, the shingles, the building, the original building may have slate, is that right? Or
Originally, it may have. Right now,
kind
we
of
do not.
composition? Yeah,
Right now, we have asphalt shingles on the Dibble Library.
okay.
It's architectural shingles, and we wish to match them.
Yeah, you mean the old part or the part the addition?
The old part has architectural asphalt shingles now.
Oh, does it?
It does.
Okay.
And we wish to match that on the new addition as
Okay,
well.
that's simple. Okay. And as far as mortar color, I'm trying to remember if it's a buff color mortar on sometimes the type of sand they mix and the type of mortar they use, it comes off as more of a buff. So you do run into the problem sometimes of having a matching brick, but an unmatching mortar, and the effect is that the same brick?
It stands out like a sore thumb.
It does. Yeah.
We ran into this issue with the community center for New Ellington when we were doing the addition there. We had Boral come out and take samples of the existing mortar condition and brick, give us an example of how they would match it. They came and they actually did a small section of the wall. We weren't happy with the way the mortar was matching, so we had to redo that section. Boral has assured us when we've talked with them that they can send out a representative, as they did last time we worked together, just to make sure that that mortar does
Yeah.
match. It is weathered, you're 100% correct. It originally, I'm guessing, was an off-white sand.
Yeah.
Now it seems like it's a little dingy in the areas where weather has gotten to it, but it is our goal to match it as close as we can there. Even things like cove headers for the bricks we want to match. You know, we're even going beyond what we need to do with the roll lock on the pad just to make sure that things look good and are functional.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that would be something we would be pay close attention to as far as the mortar color.
Yes, sir. I do have a note throughout the architectural plans as well to put that burden on the contractor. After we get approval, of course, we'll go out for bid. And when we sit down with the builders, we want to make sure that they know that we need to make sure that this is matched.
Yeah, you might want to say brick and mortar to match existing.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
We'll make sure of that on our bid process as well.
okay. Now, you're doing anything to the, I know there's some issues with the windows in the main part. Now, that will come in a later, maybe a later phase, and right now we're focusing on just this addition and nothing else as far as improvements or repairs to the front.
Yes, sir.
Is that your understanding?
That is correct. When I talked with the city and also Mr. Hanna, went over the things that we intend to do with the building. There are some problems with the dental molding across the front of the Dibble Library, small issues that we just want to repair. make sure that we match, of course, 100%. But we were told that, you know, fixing small things like that wouldn't require any additional approval.
Yeah.
We're also not going to change the building if we don't have to. Things like these windows that are on the front in the historic aspect, we want to leave them alone. We would like to perhaps pursue some things like the 3M coating to bring it so that it's a tempered glass type material, even though it is not tempered, because of the size of the window alone. But we will not be changing the look of those windows. We wish to keep the historic aspect there as intact as possible.
Okay, so there's no replacement per se of windows that you're aware of at this point. Now, if you do run into that, there's nothing that would prohibit you from coming back, you know, to us if you ran into an issue like that. I know the big windows look like they were on the borderline of being repairable, but
It certainly
hopefully-
is an old building.
Yeah, hopefully, y'all are gonna try to just repair what's there then.
Yes, sir.
With
We want to repair as much as
in-kind
possible,
materials, yeah.
replace as little as
Yeah.
possible, and keep the historic aspect as intact as we can.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay, good, thank you. We'll see if we have any other people who want to speak with regard to this then. Thank you,
Great.
Justin. Uh-huh.
Thank you all again for your consideration.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and see if we have other folks here who would like to speak in favor or opposition to the application here for the, essentially an exit stair and an elevator addition to the rear of the Dibble Library. Doesn't look like we have anybody, so if someone would like to make a motion, we can discuss it some further.
Mr. Chairman, with respect to application number CERD 16-001016, I move that we approve the application as submitted with the condition that the brick and mortar match the brick and mortar on the old Dibble Library building.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any discussion? Okay, I think the drawings are very clear, and we understand what your goal is, and it seems like that this is something that will be an improvement to the building in appearance and certainly in function. And appreciate you all working through our review process. So we have a motion second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome.
The next application is application number CERD 16-001017. Brian South is requesting approval to construct 2 new single-family homes at 132 Chesterfield Street South.
Okay, do we have somebody here who's representing Brian South, or is Brian South here? Looks like not.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we continue.
You are here?
I'm not here, but I'm here to oppose it.
Oh. We're trying to decide if we're going to hear it or not.
I don't, well, good for you. Thank you for coming.
If you're there, not
Good luck.
here, I still won't actually sit, but it's not that for me.
I don't know that we can actually hear it without an applicant.
I was going to move that it be continued to next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's wasting my time because he didn't come when he was supposed to. That's not fair to me.
It's not, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what to do. Go home and write out your comments and send them in, and then you don't have to come.
Why can I not say it here so that he reworks his in the time that he should have been in his meeting?
Yeah.
And he gets them from your agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only
Taking my time to be here.
The only problem I see with that is he may change the application and it may be different, and you may have,
He needs to change his
It
application.
you
may
may
get
have different
lost.
things to say next month.
But that's not fair to me. It's before the meeting that he should do that.
It's his application, and we need to have him here to talk about it.
He may have a response to you, and there's no application for you to respond to if he's not here. I mean, we literally can't.
He's back there next.
Or write up just submit your comments.
Yeah, if you want to come see me after the meeting, I will get your contact information and I'll contact you.
Through the whole meeting, to talk to you, that's not fair to my time. Now, is it?
What's your contact information? What's your phone number if you don't mind?
649-5737, Glen Sheriff. I'm directly next door to this building, which he's fixing to take every bit of the parking place off of my street that I've had a business on for 34 years. But 17 employees on the street to park when he builds this.
Can I give you a call tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be there at 8 o'clock.
All right.
And let me tell you what, if you write up some of your comments and send them to Ron, he can make the applicant aware that he's gotten a letter. That'll be much more helpful than y'all
And that would be included in the
arguing
agenda
before
pack
us
as
and
well.
wasting everybody's time. I'm serious. This could be a win-win. Go ahead and get your comments. We
Can I call you with them? Can we talk over
Yeah.
the phone?
I would need something in writing that can be added to the record,
Okay,
but
after I talk to you on the phone, then I'll put it in writing.
that'd be perfect.
Yeah, you're liable to get more, involvement that way than if you just argue at the meeting.
Oh, I plan to
We-
argue
we-
with you.
Right, well, I think we'd welcome some comment.
Yes,
And we welcome a lot of comment.
yeah. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we continue this application until next time.
And we got a second? Yeah, second. Josh, okay. Okay, all in favor of continuing this application, raise your right hand. You're not continuing? You want to vote it down?
He didn't show, he didn't,
You want to go ahead and hear it?
I don't think we should continue it. I think he needs to reapply it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that'd be another way to do it.
I
But
mean,
you got,
if he didn't call, he didn't give us any notice,
right. He's wasting our time, too.
he's wasting everybody's time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1 to continue it. Okay, and then Ron, you'll get together with the neighbor
Correct.
and, yeah, I'd advise him to come to work session.
Yeah, yes.
He's got a major impact downtown,
Okay.
and we haven't seen that. This is the first time we've really seen it, a couple days ago. All right? We'll
So
go
the-
to the next,
The next application will be CER H16-024. Grant Larley is requesting approval to construct a new entrance with brick columns on East Boundary Ave and board up the gate on Crossways Court at the house at 450 Crossways Court, also known as Crossways.
yeah. Okay, and Mr. Larley, but just officially state your name and address for the lady.
Grant Larley, 1096 Toolbeck Road, Aiken, South Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, I think you told us in the work session that the first goal is, if I can just summarize, is to get approval for a second entrance that was there undoubtedly, probably in several locations. Now you've identified a location that takes out one tree, and just so we don't have to repeat all this.
Correct.
That's the first goal, and then secondarily, you would like permission to more or less lock the entrance in one form or another. You want to then take it from there.
Yeah, our first choice is to, if we had our preference, would be to take these gates and move them over to the other entrance and just shadow box board between the columns that are there. The the brick columns and all that would stay there. And that's similar to what we would do between the two columns on Crossways Drive or Place. If that seems to be an issue, then we would just leave the gates, put shrubs in front of them, and then just make new gates for the other entrance.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you look back at that picture that you were just at, that shows, if you look at that, I think there's one tree, like, see that tree that's, that little small one right there? That's the tree that has to come out.
The one leaning over,
The one that's leaning over.
that's not a dogwood?
I don't think so.
Okay. But even if it is, that's where you want the gate.
Right.
And y'all would do, you would sort of replicate the columns.
It would be identical to what's over on Crossways. We would do the same column, same look, lights, basically the same thing.
All right. Now, the gates are not really original either. Those probably have been, did you have those installed a
No,
couple years ago?
no, I think they probably did, but again, they're not.
They're 15 or 20 years old, maybe.
Yeah, and they don't have a lot of substance to them. You can see them flex when they open.
Actually would make very good second entrance gates.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
And
think
then
if
later
you-
on, if someone wanted to reopen the front,
Yeah,
they could do some more ornate ones.
because these here to me, they kind of swoop up too tall for,
Yeah.
I don't think that's kind of the look that you would have seen on the front of the property in the very beginning.
Okay, and then now the columns, those are actually the columns with sort of a descending curved wall.
I don't think you'd have to have that. I think you just would have to, the two columns would be.
Just the columns you're talking
Two columns.
about.
You wouldn't need all of this.
All right. Okay, any questions you all have?
So 2 columns fit right in the fence line? Is that where they go?
Yeah, yeah. And it's almost as if he's taking a piece of that fence and then
Yeah, a section
plugging
of
it
the
back
fence down,
in
yeah.
where the gate was. So if,
Yeah, that picture was taken on, I guess Gilbert, the brick runs all the way around that property. At the very end, this was probably another entrance at one time because they blocked in this entrance as well. So.
yeah. Okay. Now, I think we've got a good understanding of what they want to do. Do you all want to discuss with him the options of
To grant,
of the wood
Are you-
shadow box?
are you seeing this as a temporary closing? When you mention Woods Chatterbox, it sounds like it's not a permanent closing.
No, it would just be, it would be temporary. I mean, honestly, the property is on the market. Probably gonna have some new owners at some point in time, and we want to have them have the option if they want to go back to Crossways, they can go back to Crossways.
Yeah.
The only reason we were gonna put the fence between it because the owner not gonna use this entrance. It closes it off and it gives us the option to use these gates at the other entrance, which I feel like these gates belong over there and not here anyway. They need different gates.
Yeah.
And they'd have to come back to you to get approval for the new ones.
Yeah, and at first we thought there might be a more permanent wall like masonry installed in there. I think there would be some opposition to a more permanent, because as you say, a new owner may well want
Yeah.
to refurbish this entrance and the neighborhood. So, all right, we'll let you go. It doesn't look like we've got other questions, and then see if anyone else would like to speak. And seeing no one, we will entertain a motion then.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve application CERH 16-024 as submitted.
All right.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the application as submitted?
One comment, I think that it's appropriate to have the driveway in the front of the house. But I respect them wanting to do, and so as we're not blocking it in,
Right.
I think I'm okay with that, but
Yeah.
as long as it's some kind of temporary measure.
Right.
And I don't know if temporary means 1 year or 20 years.
Right.
But it's, but I don't really ever, if they wanted to close it in, I think I'd have a problem with that.
More permanent closure.
Right.
And I think we acknowledge that there certainly was a secondary entrance, and it's been blocked. Well, we're reopening
Right.
that, which makes a lot of sense, and rather than bringing service vehicles in through that neighborhood. So, and we appreciate the fact that this temporary closing can be,
Right.
taken back out.
I
And
just wanted to have that on the record.
I think that's appropriate. All right, well, I'll say that once again, all in favor of the application that's submitted, raise your right hand. And looks like it's approved.
One question, if for some reason we don't use the gates at the entrance, that could just come back and be administrative
I think so.
for the second drive.
If you decide to get some others and leave those in,
See why not?
that'd be, yeah. Just let us know which way you go.
Okay, thank you.
Now, did we get Cam back? Okay.
Okay. The next application is going to be application number CERH16-026. Cameron Scott is requesting approval to construct an addition to the existing home at 347 Union Street Southeast.
Just- Yeah, you're invited. It's waiting for you. He got it warmed up. Yeah, but go ahead and tell us your name and address.
Yeah, my name is Cam Scott. I'm an architect with Cheatham Fletcher Scott Architects. I'm working with Lori and Peralta Ramos on addition to her house at, what is the, 347 Union Street?
And you're an Aiken resident.
I'm an Aiken resident.
Yeah.
Born and raised here.
Okay. And I think you gave us a pretty good update in the work session. I appreciate your coming to the other two work sessions now. That really is helpful.
Right. Just as we said, this project has been in a state of design flux and changes by the day. And so what I presented to you work session was sort of the latest design to this photo right here shows that we're wanting to extend this Dutch colonial roof out 25 feet more to the west, and then we're going to be adding a bay window on the south side, facing south boundary. But this profile will continue on out, and then we'll be adding dormer windows to match the existing dormer windows on this south side. And that's so.
And we know to update that south elevation. You've given us some. Now, we do need to, Ron, if you don't mind, assigning another exhibit.
Sure.
Number, letter.
So this would be Exhibit J.
Yeah. We've got them here, but just so that when you file the application, you'll know that it supersedes Exhibit D for this meeting. And then he'll probably bring you an update on the.
I'll bring an updated west elevation. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
If there are any other modifications to this south elevation, I will update that. I think what I presented to you is pretty correct and current. That just the west elevation, I've got to get that tweaked. So I will bring that.
So exhibits B and C are no longer part of the package?
Well, you're talking about plans now, right?
Right, the drawings.
I
Exhibit
don't know
B.
that his,
Well, Exhibit B doesn't show the bay window.
Right.
BCD are all.
yeah, plans are out too then.
I'm just trying to make sure we had the right sketch.
Yeah, what I gave you in the work session was the current
Yeah.
plans.
Yeah.
first and second floor. I don't think you had the second floor until today.
So B, C, D, and E are
Replaced by these.
replaced.
Right.
Yeah, we're
Correct.
not- yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, we can figure out how to do that. We're going to call them B1 and C1 and D1, or however, Ron, you do that. I think we understand that these stapled plans and elevations are current with a slight change on the west.
West elevation.
Okay. All right. Did anybody else have questions? I think we covered a lot of it in the work session. Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Good. Okay. And we'll ask if anyone else would like to speak with regard to the addition here at 347 Union. Don't see anyone, so would you all, someone make a motion, please?
Chairman, with respect to application number CERH 16-026, I move that we approve the application. However, the current exhibits in our package would be replaced. Exhibit B, C, and D would be replaced by the new drawings that we got today.
Okay.
And also on the condition that a new exterior west elevation be submitted.
Great. You did that well. Okay.
Second.
Motion and second. Okay, any other discussion? Okay. Yeah, and I'd like to say I think y'all have done a good job, even though you've had some changes along the way, to not only make it functional, but fit the existing architecture, but still delineate the new addition to it. All right, all in favor of the amended application, raise your right hand. Good. Okay. And Mr. Secretary, is that it? Okay, the meeting is adjourned.